Hi, Chris Kirk here at Wild Blue with another video tip. This one's aimed primarily at those of you who are thinking about selling your airplane and have run into kind of a quagmire during the pre-purchase inspection process. Sometimes those pre-purchase inspections can go well, sometimes they can go sideways, and sometimes they can just get downright ugly. No matter what happens, the situation may not turn out the way you had hoped, and you find yourself maybe spending a lot of extra time and money. Occasionally we'll get a call or an inquiry from someone who is stuck in that position, and they want our help to help guide them through that process because things have gotten a little bit sticky. And if you find yourself there, give us a call. We might be able to help you too. But one thing to keep in mind, and this is just kind of a general sales rule, and that is the longer it takes for a transaction to complete, the less likelihood there is of it completing. So it's kind of an inverse relationship there. So the longer it takes, the less likelihood it is of ever coming to fruition. Oftentimes we'll see a buyer that is just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it gets to a point where I will often just raise the hand and say, hey, are we really gonna go anywhere here? Because my experience has been that the more we continue to do this, the less likelihood there is. Those of you that know me know that I like to save our clients a lot of heartache and time. That's one of our tenant values, if you would. We want to make sure that our clients are getting their time well spent. They're getting their value for their money, and they're not wasting a lot of needless effort. So we can kind of see the writing on the wall when these things happen. So if you're starting to get a lot of back and forth there, a lot of questions, a lot of what's the mil spec of this screw after you've had an agreement, those are warning flags that the deal is probably not ever going to happen. Some of us, just humanity, I guess, some of us have a real hard time making a decision, and that is the killer of all deals. Indecision will kill, whether it's from you, the seller, or you, the buyer. If neither of you or even one of you has a hard time making a decision, you may be looking for perfection, which is never going to be there. It's going to be hard to get a common agreement, meeting of the minds on what's happening there. So I guess the bottom line to this tip is indecision is a killer. You have to understand that airplanes are complex machines, and in our business we are not selling new airplanes. So there's going to be issues with that airplane. It is never the seller's responsibility to turn it into a new airplane for you, the buyer. And so you have to come to grips with that and understand that there are going to be challenges and issues, and some things you may never get answered. And that's hard for some people when they can't get something answered very, very specifically. So if you are of the mindset, or if you're of the personality that's hard to make a decision quickly, I would encourage you to try to get as many of your questions answered before you ever pick up the phone. Know what you're getting into, talk with others, consult with others, and I think you'll find that you will have a much more pleasurable experience. And then as you, the seller, if you find yourself in that position with a buyer, or you yourself are having trouble coming to terms with what is presented to you, give us a call. We might be able to help the two of you try to think things through in a more business-like manner, and try to remove some of the emotion that oftentimes gets attached there. Anyway, Chris, Mac, or Todd, 888-773-4249, flywildblue.com. Thanks so much.